I'm really excited to introduce our next guest, Siona Benjamin. Um, my friend Siona, I'm so excited to see you and to have you here today. Siona is a painter originally from Bombay. She grew up in the B'nai Israel community with predominantly Hindu and Muslim neighbors. Siona's distinctive paintings reflect her multicultural background. She's a Fulbright scholar, among so many other accolades. And in a moment, we're going to share a clip from a film about Siona called Blue Like Me, which will tell you a lot about her. Siona is the most fascinating person. I'm so happy that I've had a chance to get to know her, that she's in our book. And now that I know Siona, I can't imagine not knowing her. We also have some exciting news to share about Siona in a little while, just a little bit of a tease. So I'm really excited to welcome Siona to say hello. And do you want to say a quick hello before we start your film?
Yes, hi. Thank you so much.
Hi,
It's such a
Siona.
pleasure, Barbara, to be with your book, and Brianna and Carl are just amazing people, and I think this book is wonderful. It's a very inspiring book for young people to be able to pursue their dreams. So thank you for doing it, and thank you for having me as part of the book.
And thank you for being part of it. I mean, I truly feel like we have a community, and being able to gather today just makes it even more so. So my heart is so full right now. So thank you. And we can watch Siona's film now.
Siona is from Bombay in India.
Here she is, a Jew who grew up in India in a community that was, where she was, primarily Hindu and Muslim.
She was educated in Catholic and Zoroastrian schools. She's got this whole amazing mix here.
And it all comes together at the tip of the paintbrush.
The thing that struck me about her work the first time I saw it was just how dazzlingly beautiful it is.
We can't put it in a box, and therefore it absolutely defies an easy definition.
It's work that draws from many different artistic traditions, past and present.
Siona is diverse. She is her own tapestry. She's not a melting pot. She's a rainbow.
Why I choose a blue person, that figure for me has become a symbol of being a Jewish woman of color.
So it's talking about being colored, being other.
Being a light blue, it could be the color of the sky and the ocean, and that stretches all over the world. And so I could belong everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
This is about a vision of the world which is constantly changing, in which one thing becomes another. The female figure becomes a menorah, which I think is really quite beautiful.
She has written on one side of this figure in Hebrew the phrase tikkun ha'olam, repairing the world.
The concept of Tikkun Olam comes out of the Kabbalah, and it goes back to a very old archetypal story about the shard. The universe is like a huge clay pot which has been shattered.
And so Tikkun Olam is making the world better. That is a dominant theme within the artwork of Siona Benjamin.
It's a question of home. What is home? What is the meaning of home?
Home is an absolute, I would say, obsession. I mean, she's got a whole series, finding home, finding home, finding home.
When I initially thought I needed to find a place or a home to belong to, you can put it that way, that I feel like an outsider no matter where I am, or you can take it also the other way, that I say I feel at home anywhere I am.
It's just such a beautiful film, and I encourage all of you to Google it and make sure that you see the whole thing, because it's really fabulous. Siona, I have a couple of questions for you, and then Brianna's going to jump in as well. Your blue characters, I know they talked about it in the film, and you've got a beautiful painting behind you. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you came up with the idea of your blue characters and what they mean to you?
Sure. I very often I've been asked, Jew from India, how is that possible? Or I've heard of them, and is it possible for people to go all the way over there? And I said, no. I mean, Judaism kind of started in the Middle East, in Iraq and Iran, and even in the Genesis it says, Abraham came from the land of Ur, which is in Baghdad and not in Eastern Europe. So after reminding people, it sort of became a joke for me. And I started thinking, what color should I paint my skin when I do the, my sort of theatrical, biographical kind of images using, actually, Rabbi Sandy was saying, I'm very fond of Midrash. I studied Midrash with Rabbi Burton Vysotsky at JTS, and my work is very Midrash oriented. Behind me, the character is Lilith, actually. I love Lilith and all of the women in the Torah. And so making a character the color of blue, which is coming from Indian and Buddhist and all mythologies too, which I originate from, but also blue is the color of the sky in the ocean. And so it makes me belong everywhere and nowhere at the same time. So it gives me a grounding of being the other, of being a Jew of color, or whatever, category you want to put me in, but it also makes me category-less, where I feel like the blue sort of gives me the horizon of the blue sky or the blue ocean, so that I don't belong everywhere. So my characters started taking shape in that way, and they grew and grew, and now they're a big part of me. And Brianna will tell you more about what I've done with her publishing company sometime soon.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing I just want to mention, I also think that people viewing your work, no matter who they are or what their background is, they can see themselves reflected back, which is a beautiful thing. So going back to the idea of community and the idea that creativity breeds creativity. So you were featured in DIJ, but that is not the end of your connection with Intergalactic Afikoman. So I'll let you and Brianna tell the rest.
Yes, I'm thankful to you, actually, Barbara, because you introduced me to Brianna through this book, and then I'll let Brianna tell you what it is.
Yes.
Well, I'm grateful to both Barbara and Siona, because basically Barbara and Siona had an interview, and Siona mentioned, oh, tell your editor I would be interested in illustrating a picture book someday. And I basically said, oh my goodness, do we have any books that would really be like Siona Benjamin's style is so amazing, but do we have any books like that? And suddenly a book that I had acquired, and I'll be introducing the author soon when I talk about our wonderful authors at the end who are here, because she's here today. Thank you, Frida. And but this book called AM HAVA about Hava Nagila, and was this beautiful poetic manuscript about how Hava traveled from being a word where the author, Frida, amazing Frida, thank you, Frida Lefkowitz, took the Hava and personified Hava, and the essence of creativity. She made Hava into a girl, or actually we didn't know at first what Hava was. We just knew that Hava told her own story. And then, so I said to Siona, would this be a book you'd be interested in? And it was so amazing, because this was a very Ashkenazic, very Eastern European book. And suddenly Siona agreed to illustrate it. And Siona, would you talk about how it came to be, and what you did with Hava and with Hora, and just please share a little bit of your illustrative process of this book, because it's been such a pleasure to truly get to know and to work with Siona and the designer Andrew, and the amazing meetings we've had about this amazing book.
This is my first children's picture book, and it was, I'm not just saying this because I'm here, it was an amazing process. Brianna and Carl are like perfectionists. They're very, very good at picking up stuff and guiding me. And it was an amazing experience. I'm not just saying that. It was, thank you, Barbara, again, for introducing me. It was just very, the COVID year was filled with making this book. Part of it, I had other commissions too, and I have a lot of other commissions that I keep juggling, but this was one of the big commissions that I did. And it was really amazing, because we were discussing like what would Hava and Hora look like, and we were mulling around like, is she a girl, is she a boy? I mean, what kind of character is it? And so I think actually, Brianna, you said like I was trying to create, like, get out of my own skin, so to speak, my own blue skin, and try to create something different. And Brianna said, how about she being blue, just like you are and your characters are? And so I just said, sure. I mean, if you'd like that. So Hava and Hora are, and it turned out to be that Hava turns out to be this Indian Jewish girl wearing a turquoise sari. And she comes from Ukraine and she goes to Jerusalem and she meets Hora. And Hora is another Indian girl. And by the way, the pink is actually going to be gold, right? It's going to be gold leafed, actually, this book, which was an amazing thing that also Brianna and Carl decided to do. So all the pink part is going to be gold leafed. And so, you know, she meets Hora in Jerusalem, and it's a celebration of the song. But what we found when we were doing this book, when I was working closely with the whole team, that Hava and Hora become universal. She can come from anywhere and belong anywhere. And it's not just necessarily that a costume will determine who she is or where she comes from. So that was the main idea of the whole theme. And I think it was really wonderful to work on this. I mean, I miss meeting you guys for our bi-weekly meetings and discussing, you know, the pages. Yes, I really do.
This book is so beautiful that I could cry.
But all the pink is going to be gold, just so that you know, right?
Yes, that's just from Andrew. He had to put that in so they know what to do. But it makes me so happy, this book. Thank you, Siona. Thank you, Barbara. And thank you for the magic of DIJ, that one creative, it's like mitzvah goreret mitzvah, one mitzvah, one a good deed or Jewish command leads to another, and a creativity leads to more creativity. So thank you both so much.